analysis has been used. Now, further he says, while a reduction in interest rate and inflation rate resulted in increased stock prices, increased RGDP has a positive impact. Government should therefore implement policies that will reduce inflation rate and improve the standard of living of its citizens. Interest rates should be made moderate so as to encourage investment and transactions in stock. Here are some of the recommendations given by the researcher on the basis of analysis. Now we will explore further that how the multiple regression analysis has been used in this research paper by the researcher. Here you can see the model specification. Y is equal to alpha naught plus alpha 1 x1 plus alpha 2 x2 plus alpha 3 x3 plus the error term. SMVI is equal to alpha naught plus alpha 1 INT plus alpha 2 INF plus alpha 3 RGDP plus alpha 4 PROF plus alpha 5 TAX plus error term, where SMVI is equal to stock market value index. INT is representing interest rate, INF is representing inflation rate, real gross domestic product is represented by RGDP, PROF is representing corporate profit, TAX is representing tax rate. Further, you can see the highlighted area that the researcher has developed hypothesis for the research, where null hypothesis or H naught says inflation rate, interest rate, and real GDP do not have a significant influence on stock prices behavior of quoted companies in Nigerian capital market. On the other hand, alternative hypothesis or H1 says inflation rate, interest rate, and real gross domestic product have significant influence on stock price behavior of quoted companies in the Nigerian capital market. Moving further, here's the data representation ranging from period 1997 to 2006. The first column is showing the years, the second column market value index, third column interest rate, fourth column inflation rate, and fifth column RGDP. Here we can see the table which the researcher has got after running regression analysis on the data, the variables, the coefficient, and t-statistics. The coefficient of constant is minus 38294.23. The coefficient for inflation rate is minus 118.532, and the coefficient for variable interest rate is minus 137.085. Finally, the coefficient for RGDP, that is real gross domestic product, is 124.262. The value of adjusted R square is 0.956. The researcher has incorporated T calculated value and T tabulated value, and F calculated value and F tabulated values, which we have already done in SPSS. We have seen in significance columns that our values were significant, statistically significant, which were represented by significance or p-value that should be less than 0.05. Here it says the result of automated data analysis reveals that the real gross domestic product, interest, and inflation rates can be held responsible for 95.6% variation on stock prices of quoted companies with reference to 1997 to 2006. This statement has been given by using the value of adjusted R square. Moving ahead, the F statistics which he has got from ANOVA table of the model indicates that the model has closeness to fit, which means that the model is statistically significant at 5% level of significance. Here the researcher has incorporated F tabulated and F calculated values. We have done it through SPSS on the basis of p-value or significance value, which I elaborated that it should be less than 0.05, and it will represent us that our overall model is statistically significant. Finally, here you can see that the researcher has developed the equation by using the values of coefficients. SMVI is equal to minus 38,294.23 minus 118.532 INT minus 137.0851 INF plus 124.262 RGDP. He says the economic implication is that a reduction in interest rate and inflation rate resulted in increased stock prices of quoted companies in Nigerian capital market. So, it means that the negative coefficients of interest rate and inflation rate indicates that inflation and interest rates should be reduced to increase the stock market value index of quoted companies in Nigeria. On the other hand, there is a positive impact of RGDP on the stock prices, that is, an increase in RGDP resulted in increased stock prices in conformity with the priori expectation. Means the positive value of RGDP or the positive coefficient of RGDP indicates that real GDP should be increased to increase the SMVI. The adjusted R square coefficient 0.956, which is the coefficient of determination, indicates that the explanatory variables accounts for 95.6% of the variation in the influence of interest rate, inflation rate and RGDP on stock prices of quoted companies in Nigeria for the period under study. So guys, that was all from my side. I hope you people have better understood that how to perform multiple regression analysis on SPSS and how to incorporate these results in your research papers. And I hope you people have better understood the theoretical background of regression analysis. Me, Bilal Khan, signing off. Thank you very much. Thank you.